Hey everybody, welcome to the Flipside. I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And we have just got back flying home from Florida because we just did the bottom 5
4 minutes ago
on the Dice Tower, and we had to jump on a jet.
Yeah, that's fast jet.
Really fast jet. And we got back so that we could be here for you to do our top 5 here on the Flipside up in Washington State.
I'm just glad they set up the studio so it matched.
Painstakingly.
Yep.
And if you believe that, I've got some oceanfront property in Montana I'd like to sell you. Anyway, we're going to be doing our top 5 games from 2015, and if you didn't go over to the Dice Tower to watch our bottom 5, how was this year?
This was a very easy year. There's a lot of games. A lot of games in 2015.
Lemon squeezy. You got that right.
And if you don't go check that one out, which you should.
Yep, you should.
Just a quick deal, 69 2015 games in the top 1,000. And in the first 9 years, we've done 9 years now of this series, 353 games in the top 1,000. Now, obviously, every week that could change a little bit.
Sure.
When we get done, it might be 1,012 games total. But 353 games, that means in the last 9 years, or the next 9 years to get to date, it has to be, another 647 games. So,
wow.
They're going to incrementally increase.
That means that we've got a lot of cool stuff to look forward to.
That's true.
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and hit it. Our top 5 games from 2015. Let's do it. All right, my number 5. Now, we have just surmised between the two of us that we're going to have a lot of crossover on this here top 5. I said at least 3. He said at least 4.
Yeah, I said 5 first, and then I retracted 1.
Yeah, because he knows better. Because he knows better.
I know better. All right, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Raptor. He didn't even know what it was. You knew what it was.
I knew what it was. I haven't played it yet.
Haven't played it yet. I told you this wasn't going to be on your list.
That's true.
I don't know. A couple of lists ago, you did that. You put a list on your list. You named a game on your list. 3?
No, now we're down to 3 possible crossovers.
Raptor is a great game. Basically, take what probably was the prequels to Jurassic Park and bottle it up into a 2-player game. 1 player taking on the role of the Velociraptor and all of her little babies.
So cool. And
the other player taking on the role of the scientists trying to scientifically study said babies, and the mama raptor just doesn't understand.
Nope.
What's going on?
She didn't sign a consent form.
No, she did not. But that didn't matter to the scientists. They're going about their nefarious deeds. Anyway, it's a great little 2-player game. I love the modular board setup. I love the ease of the rules. The gameplay is easy, just playing a card down from your hand. If you are the lowest card, you get to do whatever your card does, whatever special ability it has. The higher number takes the number of actions of the difference between the 2 cards, and they're able to do stuff out on the board. It's a really cool
the lower number does the special ability, and the higher number takes actions?
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct. So there's always this kind of how I want to do the special ability, but am I willing to give them the possibility of doing that many actions? Yeah. Or you play as high as you want so you can get as many action points as you want. It's a really cool back and forth game. So you have to play your cards. Once you play your cards, it's out. There is a card in your hand that you can play that gets all your cards back. So it's just a really fun game. Really great game.
Yeah.
Vintage trade artwork. That's just the way.
I don't even know how you come up with 6 out of every 10 games.
It's not 6 every 10.
6 out of 10.
It's a really great game, though. That's my number 5, Raptor.
Nice.
From Matago.
All right. My number 5 is technically a 2nd edition, but I never played the 1st edition. And it is called Mission Red Planet Fantasy Flight. And Mission Red Planet's a really cool game where you're selecting a character from your hand that have special abilities. You're trying to get your astronauts onto spaceships.
Yep.
And then in turn get them from the spaceship to Mars and colonize little area control on Mars. At the same time, you can kill people's guys off or swap one out or move them or change their destination on their spaceship.
So much fun at this time.
So much fun.
Yep.
Just ridiculously fun. Everybody likes to play it. The astronauts are really cute little deals.
In the second edition.
In the second edition. I don't even know, is the first edition the same as the second edition, or was there...
There were some differences. For example, instead of going card number 1 through 10, you go card number 10 through 1. So it's little nuances that, to where it's a countdown to you launching. There's little things like that. And the second edition had those little astronaut miniatures. Yeah. But I don't believe the other one just had, I want to say cubes.
Yeah, probably.
I want to say cubes in the first one. I own the second edition, so I thought twice about adding Mission Red Planet to this list, but I didn't include it because it's the second edition. Yeah, that's the only reason.
It's my first edition, that's for sure. There was a second edition, Viticulture Essential Edition came out this year too, but I didn't put it on there for the same reason.
That doesn't,
And it's way better than the first one, but...
You already put Viticulture on one of your lists already.
I probably did.
Yeah.
Anyways, my number 5, Mission Red Planet.
Great pick.
Game.
Great pick. Great game. Very good. My number 4 is going to be a crossover. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to say that this one is probably going to be your number 3. I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be.
Okay.
But it is called Raiders of the North Sea. You are a Garfield Games.
I don't know this game.
Nut.
I might know this game.
You know this game. What are you talking about? Raiders of the North Sea is basically what started it all for the Garfield Games line of blank of the blank games.
Well, it didn't start it. Explorers was first.
Explorers was first.
Raiders was second.
Oh, well, I must have played them out of order then. I must have played them out of order then.
Yeah, I think Raiders was second.
Okay, it's in the original trilogy.
It's in the original trilogy.
Are you happy
This is the one that made it stick, though.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably this. I mean, I think Garfield put the Miko on the map for the most part, and he's a great artist, and I always enjoyed this. But I loved Raiders of the North Sea. I'm a Viking game fan. I like them. I like that theme, and this one had it in spades. It was really a great game. This is what put, I think, for me at least, it was the first one of the 3 that I played, so that's why I thought it was first. So my apologies there, but Raiders of the North Sea, that's my number 4.
Chicken and the egg. Maybe the Miko put Shem on the map. Who knows?
There we go.
All right, that's a pretty good pick. I'll let it stand.
It's coming up.
All right. My number 4, I was trying to remember if this was the first Legacy game I've played, because it's Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
This is your 4?
May be the first Legacy game I ever played. If not, it's pretty close to the first Legacy game I ever played, but this is a fantastic game.
Wow. I thought for sure this is going to be your 1.
Yeah. This made Pandemic into something, spectacular. I always loved Pandemic anyways, but this took it and shot it to the moon. But
gave it story.
Legacy.
Gave it story.
Yep.
Gave it theme.
Season 1 was fantastic. It felt so much like what it was doing. I mean, it all made sense from start to finish. It was definitely the first game that we cut up cards and threw them away and did all that kind of stuff in that significant of a quantity.
Sure.
But this is a fantastic game. I'd love to play it again, honestly, at some point, but just time is time. But whatever. This is a great Legacy game. One of the greatest.
Very much agree with that. If they could figure out a way to where you could play it, Pandemic, this way, multiple times in the same box, that would be great.
Sure.
Without refill packs.
Yeah, that'd be a heck for recharge.
All right, my number 3. crossover, Pandemic Legacy Season 1. Really enjoyed this game. This is how Pandemic was meant to be played, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I totally get, and I liked Pandemic before, but it was always, it's a good game. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Pandemic Legacy Season 1 hit, and I was like, holy crap, this is fun. This is such a fun thing. The surprises it threw at you. I love going through, the whole idea. It sounds, old and stupid now, but that whole idea of going through month by month.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made so much sense. Yeah, made so much sense. And so everything that he said about it, it's just simply a great version of Pandemic. And the whole legacy thing, that I think you're probably right, except for Risk Legacy.
I never played Risk Legacy.
Oh, okay. So. Risk Legacy came out first, I think, and then Pandemic Legacy came out. And so I was already kind of on board with that whole legacy aspect. Yeah. But after this one, people really started making legacy games.
Yep. Hey, yeah.
This is like added fuel to the fire.
Indeed.
So, great game. That's my number 3. Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
I can tell you, I do not understand your 2-in-1. I know what your 2-in-1 are, but I don't understand them.
Why?
Either that or I got my stuff wrong.
Maybe.
We'll see. My number 3 is a sweet little rolling tons of dice game, a Viking game called Champions of Midgard.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
This came out in 2015?
I think so. That's why I said, what did I do? Did I get my list wrong or what?
I'm double checking.
You need to double check it for me because I cannot understand your top 2 without two more of these games.
I will say this.
All right, check it.
I will say this because if that is the case, I messed up.
Yeah, he did. He messed up.
Come
on, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. I mean, I don't want to be wrong.
Yep. 2015.
2015, look at that.
I made a freaking mistake.
Oh, he forgot.
Okay, well here's what it is.
We have invalidated.
No.
One of his list.
I will say this. Everything shifts up from 2 through 10. 1. So They Come Unseen falls off the list.
Yep.
Everything shifts up 1.
Yep.
And that would be my number 2.
Yep.
Beyond the Shadow of a Doubt.
Okay.
Beyond the Shadow of a Doubt.
Fair. All right. That's exactly That's exactly what I thought.
Dang it!
I was like, there's no way you're squeezing these games into 2 more. So, all right. Whew. Thought I was in trouble.
Stupid person.
Number 3, Champions of Midgard. We've talked about it a couple different times recently. All you need to know, there's a lot of Viking dice to roll, a lot of monsters to kill, and some worker placement in the middle of that. But
if you have the ability, if you've not yet purchased this game, and for some reason we have flung a craving on you for Champions of Midgard, you do your best to buy the Valhalla and Dark Mountains expansion with it.
Yep.
On the get-go, you will thank us for that later. Because without those 2 expansions, really, without Valhalla,
still a fun game.
It is a fun game, but it's an incomplete fun game.
Okay.
It's an incomplete fun game.
All right.
That's just the long and the short of it. But Valhalla, the Dark Mountains add in the archers, so you kind of need the Dark Mountains as well. You need all of it. Just buy all of it.
The nice thing about Dark Mountains is when you have more players playing, it gives you more places to go too. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Anyways, my number 3, Champions of Midgard.
Yep.
The game you forgot.
Dang it. Poop.
All right, what was your number 2?
My number 2/3 is a game that we have talked about a lot, and it was a game that I actually didn't like in its original iteration, and that is called Zombicide. Black Plague is actually the one that is on this list, and it is my favorite version of the game that is just medieval themed or non-IP themed. I really like Marvel Zombies.
Sure.
Really like Marvel Zombies. and I will say it's about equal with Zombicide Black Plague, because if I'm having a cartoony, superhero vibe that I want to itch, then I'll play Marvel Zombies. If I'm having just a regular old medieval Black Plague itch, then I'll play Black Plague. I really do think that those two are equal. I haven't played the Western one as much as I probably want to. That's in the running for dethroning Zombicide Black Plague, but at this point, Zombicide Black Plague is probably my favorite.
Nice.
And that's my number 2/3. You're going to have to go back and modify everything because I'm an idiot and I forgot Champions of Midgard. But
my number 2 is also Zombicide Black Plague.
I figured it was coming.
And I don't know, like we've had this discussion a little bit, but I don't know if this one's going to get kicked out or not. And the truth is Mel and I have talked about it a couple times. I won't know. So when Melissa finishes her degree, her master's degree, and finishes school, we're going to take and we're going to do 10 games of Zombicide Black Plague.
Marvel-side zombies.
10 games of Undead, and we're going to do 10 games of zombies, and then I'm going to cut one of the 3 games.
Ooh, so you're going to do 10, 10, 10?
Yep.
And then you're going to cut one of the 3 out?
Yep. I think it's going to be this one.
You think it's going to be Black Plague?
Yeah. I love Black Plague. Played a ton of it, but I think Undead or Alive just has better mechanics. Yeah. And the theme of zombies, or the theme of Marvel, and even the mechanics in Marvel are just super good. So
yeah, I get it.
Yep.
I get it.
But anyways, it's still a wonderful game.
Yep. Especially for this year.
Yep.
Especially for this year. It's kind of unfair to compare it to things that have improved upon it.
Yeah. But it
purposefully.
Yeah.
Like they were purposefully designed to improve upon the design that was here.
Sure.
And
also the best dungeon crawl from 2015 all the way to 2022 when Undead or Alive came out. So 7 years of being the best dungeon crawl. So
Hall of Fame.
Yes, Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Shocking. My number 1 is Blood Rage.
Yep.
Blood Rage. Eric Lang, Simon, or Cool Mini or not. This is just by far, it's my favorite game of all time. It is by far my favorite Viking game. I love the area control. I love the miniatures. I love the drafting. The drafting is where you win or lose the game, frankly. And how you implement those cards that you do draft are how you win or lose the game. I've taught this to many people, and most of them come out saying they loved the game. There have been some that say, it's not for me. It's not really for me. But it's such a great game. I love teaching the game. I could sit there and just teach and not play and still enjoy myself. I love this game so much. It's such a great game. Blood Rage, Eric Lang, Simon, my number 1.
You've been waiting for 2015.
All
right. Yep. 2015, the best game in 2015. Raiders of the North Sea. What? I didn't do that to your Blood Rage.
It was. It's the 4th best game.
All right.
If
we add them all up, you left Champions off.
Anyways. Actually, I did.
All right. My number 1 is Raiders of the North Sea. Just the turn angst, and we talked about this a lot, but I really love turn angst in the game, and the turn angst in Raiders of the North Sea is top notch. It's for real. Both expansions for this one, just like Champions of Midgard, are fantastic, and they add so much. They do add length to the game. At least, really, the Hall of Heroes doesn't add length to the game, really, but the second one, the Fields of Fame, definitely does add some length to the game, or can add some length to the game. But regardless, it's a fantastic game, and I will always love it.
Yep.
I think.
I don't know that I don't even know that I've played the expansions. Now that I'm sitting here, I'm trying to rack my brain thinking about it. I don't think I have. Really? Yeah.
One adds a feast hall and beer.
Yeah.
And when you get the beer, you can buy special crew with it, which are nice, or you can spend it to add strength to your combat.
I remember that.
And then the other one adds Jarls that are out there along with the Valkyrie that you can defeat Jarls. And it also adds a secondary, once a port has been destroyed, then it gets a tile.
Did they come out at the same time?
Yeah.
Or did they come out successively?
No, I think they came out at the same time.
I don't remember that second one. I do remember the beer because I remember making jokes with it. You know, it makes you...
Yep, makes you
liquid
courage. Yes.
Yep, I get it.
Yep, they're great. It gives you a lot of thought process.
Yeah, it does.
It also introduces the damage to your characters that later came out in Raiders of Scythia, which is kind of just a watered down version of those. But I still have Raiders of Scythia 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a fun game. It's a good game. I don't think it compares to Raiders of the North Sea with expansions. But it's still a solid and streamlined version.
That's cool. Alrighty. Good list. Good list. Mine was better with the addition of Champions of Midgard.
Yes, it was.
But I don't know. I don't mind. I'm an idiot for forgetting Champions of Midgard. I mean, long and the short of it.
I knew that was a crossover. I knew Black Plague was a crossover.
Yeah.
I knew Raiders was a crossover and Pandemic. See, there's my 4.
Yep. You had it right.
All right.
You had it right. I just screwed up. All right. Well, that is our top 5 from 2015, modified slightly.
Yep.
And it was actually a really, really good year for gaming. Good night, especially just from our collective experiences. Really good game. So, and again, like he was saying, it's only going to get better.
Yep.
It's only going to get better as time goes on. So, with that being said, we're going to get on out of here. But come back next week and join us again for another top 5, bottom 5 over on the Dice Tower and right here on the Flipside. We'll see you guys and gals later on. Take care.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, what he said.
See you later.
I always forget to say that. Bye-bye.